A very good evening, everyone. Very good evening to you, pool lovers from wherever you are watching. Now it's the continuation of the Sharpshooters Grand Opening Championship. That is the opening of the Sharpshooters Arena. This tournament is organized by the one and only certain Mr. Joseph Asozi. It is 32 players. Each, if I'm not mistaken, have participation of one lady. That is Rokia Naiga, who is now arriving at the venue. And yes, the race is six. This match is, I think, in the second round of the first life, because the idea from the organizer is that they don't get to play any more rounds in the second life, but focus on one life and play it for as long as time does allow. And the championship is happening on three tables. Another match is having Joseph Kasozi taking on Detective. That one, you can have a little glimpse of it in the background, and we have a third table where there is action as well. And now this one is between two very close persons, and believe you me, Jackson Asiku has Ibrahim Kayanja as one of his mentors. Both are born and raised in the suburb of Waise Trading Center in Kampala. And of course, Ibrahim Kayanja, being older by about 10 years, is one of the guys who taught Jackson Asiku how to play pool. He's the one who introduced him to us. Nowadays, Asiku is a man himself, not in terms of age, but at least in terms of ability to play pool. He has also gotten sponsorship of his own, signed under Big Kel's management, that does have a working partnership with the Sharpshooters Arena for the organization of today's competition. That's why you are seeing all players participate while joining proudly Big Kells. Now, every time a frame shall be done, you will be having muted audio for the fact that there is a lot of music ongoing in the background. When there is ongoing commentary, the commentary does confuse AI, and the song is not detected. But after the frames, I get to have a little break and then mute the audio. One frame to nil, Jackson. Sorry, 1-1 between Jackson Asiku and Ibrahim Kayanja, racing to six. There were so many matches, about six of them, that I streamed between these two for the space of the last 2 years. All of them were won by Ibrahim Kayanja. I even stopped taking these matches serious. At one time, thought that Jackson Asiku was not intent on beating his boss, his first boss, in terms of teaching him how to play, until I streamed the match involving these two. They faced off in Kenya at Timbuktu in Eldoret. That was won by Zimbabwe's Eshka Chimbwan. They faced off in the first round. A race to 9. It was ended 9 frames to 6. It is Ibrahim Kayanja who won, and I saw Jackson Asiku shed a tear. Then I knew that these defeats that Ibrahim Kayanja has gotten over him have really been painful and have been hitting hard. I am now sure that he really, really likes the win, but he needs a big shot here. He needs a relatively high bridge of the cue ball, pot yellow to the corner pocket top left, then draw the white ball backwards. Shot on target, cue ball backwards, off to cushions, pinpoint accuracy from the Big Kells youngster. He'll now be potting black, hopefully for him, to the side pocket on the right for what will be a second frame 1 out of 2. Jackson Asiku 2 and Ibrahim Kayanja 1, and race to 6 for a place in the round of last 16. The expectation, dear viewers, is for this comp to be ending by around 10 p.m. tomorrow evening. There's still a lot of pool to be played and a lot of players to be knocked out. It is 32 players playing double life racing to 6 on now 3 tables. This one will be one of the final matches that will be happening in this competition. And I have, by the way, deleted 3 of the matches that I streamed earlier today. They were just not safe with too much heavily incorporated music that was playing in the background. Only one of them passed the test of time and did not get a specific warning from YouTube. That's the match between Computer and Caesar. The other 3 have since then been deleted, and I may be streaming on YouTube only throughout the course of the competition unless the time comes when the venue mutes the audio almost entirely. And how about this for Ibrahim Kayanja trying to win a frame? The second time he's taking the match so serious. He knows how lethal Jackson Asiku is. He taught him some of those skills by himself. Now it is Asiku now tormenting his teacher. And they play in a style that is not similar whatsoever, but both of them like to go for attack. Frame number 4 is now poised in favor of the real machine, as Ibrahim Kayanja is nicknamed anyway. We want to put a red to the corner pocket where there is the yellow. He uses the yellow to support the movement of the red. Moves the cue ball towards the top end of the table, just around the middle, and has sight of all of them 3 reds on the table, and could start with either, most especially excluding the one red that is in between the 2. To put now with top spin cue ball following the red off the cushion, and we'll be putting the one to the side pocket on the right. Next, Jackson Asiku knows highly likely he's losing this frame. There we go. With Ibrahim Kayanja needing to put the last red on the table, I believe, with top spin, but having a right direction on the cue ball such that after bouncing off the top cushion, it comes back towards the bottom end of the table, but moving in right motion. It's what he's aiming for. It is what he plays off 2 cushions, right direction, and the rest is a formality. Of course, black to the corner pocket bottom left for the real machine to record his second out of 4, and there he does. It is Ibrahim Kayanja 2 and Jackson Asiku 2. We can now have some predictions in the comment section, guys. For the guys that normally love to watch on Facebook, I'm so sorry. I've only streamed one match on Facebook today, and yet I stream more on Facebook than YouTube. In fact, for majority of the streams, I do it jointly on Facebook and YouTube. For those that are not joint, majority streams are on Break and Finish Live Facebook. Why not? I'm humbly happy. It's such a big streaming platform. Such a big streaming platform. Just heading into the 200k mark in terms of following. I'm just proud. I'm just thankful to God that I'm an admin of that one. Esther Motesi, my former friend. Thank you for supporting Ibrahim Kayanja and Yangama Dunjwa. You're predicting Ibra to win by 6 frames to 4, meaning that you think Asiku will win not more than 2 frames after this. Let's see how well it goes. Waso James, thank you for appreciating. And Emmanuel, you say that Asiku is your favorite young player in Uganda. You call him the young Lighty. Call him Lighty. Look at this cut. Wonderful from the real machine. That's why this game can mean to be a very nice source of entertainment. Oops. Guys, I was so absent-minded. After having such a wonderful cut of the ball, it was very unfortunate. I'm now having to play the shot backwards. It was so quick I didn't even realize it at the first time of asking. Yes, actually played the cue ball into the black and got it sunk to the side pocket on the right. He has lost the frame as cheap as that. It is now Jackson Asiku in the lead, but very, very, very unfortunate for Ibrahim Kayanja to be conceding the frame and conceding the lead, and Jackson Asiku gaining the lead before without even him touching a cue stick. It is now Asiku 3 and Ibrahim Kayanja 2. Sorry guys, every time you get to have muted audio, it's just because the sound of the music for artists like Shaggy that is heavily copyrighted sometimes becomes a little too much. Then I just do the mute to protect the streaming platform. 3-3 between master and student. And nowadays the student has better results on the pool table. I'm not saying he's a better player, he's just performing a little better than his master. And I'm saying only of late. We are at the Sharpshooters Arena. Wankulukuku. I know that many of you won't even try pronouncing that. That's the trading center. If you're in and around Kampala, it is just close to the Motesa 2 Stadium, the venue of Express Football Club, the oldest football team in Uganda's history. It's 3-3 between Jackson Asiku, the smaller guy, and Ibrahim Kayanja, the taller guy, racing to 6. After this, I could have maybe one, maybe two more streams, and then I'll go and have a very deserved rest. Then, because tomorrow it will be a lot of streaming compared to today's, and yet yesterday, you know the story, you know how, you know up to what time I streamed, and from where I was yesterday to today's streaming venue, it is about a good 20 kilometers. And its streaming ended about 3 a.m. East African time. So you can see the story. This comp started this afternoon, maybe this morning. 3-3 Vatican Jackson Asiku. They are playing football. Both of these guys. And it is this style when you think that maybe Asiku will be better fancied, because it is the game he plays a little more frequent in comparison to his opponent, who is more attack-minded with a lot of flamboyance. Ibra is one of the most entertaining players, not just in the country but also in the entire African continent. When he wins, he really wins beautiful, because he very rarely plays the cue ball in the middle. He plays it at the side almost every time, even when he's playing snooker. On the side, on the top, bottom, he drags it most of the time. It is how he wins. It is also how he wins. 3-3. Now I am being informed by the master of ceremonies, while I've already streamed 2 matches involving Herbert, but I've as well taken time to inform the master of ceremonies today that Herbert cannot play in this competition during class time tomorrow. The exemption that he has been given is that if he can find a position by the time he comes from school at 5 p.m, then he can play. So he's being given a match in the second life to play it now, such that in case he qualifies, his second life will be in the second round and he can play it in the evening tomorrow. And then remember, he's also still involved in the first life. So as for the first life, he can play for as long as he's still involved in the competition, because it is being played today, which is not school day anyway. But for Ibrahim Kayanja, it is sporting day. Of course, Ibra likes Jackson Asiku, but he's that one player that he doesn't want to beat him. You don't want to get beat by your student who would. We are all humans. We are all human. Looks like it will be casual him manipulating cue ball for the last yellow. Just gets the cue ball close to the ball. I'm not so certain it is possible to the side pocket on the right. By his body language, seems he will be spinning the cue ball backwards. Black and yellow to the same side pocket right. This will be the real machine's first opportunity to take the lead in the match, and yes, he does. Ibrahim Kayanja 4, Jackson Asiku 3. Coming live next is going to be an even more entertaining match. 2 attack-minded players and at speed. Maybe Uganda's two fastest players are going to be taking each other on. Senyonjo Glorious versus Makisa Habat, racing to 6 for a place in the round of last 32, coming live shortly after the end of this one.
Bana your players mwena Bolitis Continental bana your players mwena wemuli tufunye omukisa waliwo manager omu angambe tayagala nnyo kamera agulidde bakuleera ekwetibwa ya bia ekwetibwa soda nekatoni y'amazzi ekibona ekikolereko mu ngalo Bolitis ng'omanyi oyambadde t-shirt eno zenyambadde okkirizibwa okujja okufuna ekyokunywa kyo Bolitis ng'omanyi oyambadde t-shirt zenyambadde tufunye manager anade tayagala kamera yenkuli njagala kumwandulayo era bazanyi banange saamutukirye buli muzanyi ayagala ekyokunywa ambuulire sobole okitwalayo ku kawunta batuweereye kunywa byaffe ijje tuwemereye amatoke.
All right, guys. Still 4 frames to 3. It is the first time in the match once again that Ibrahim Kayanja is leading in his encounter against his student Jackson Asiku. The race remains 6 with Ibra now needing to win 2, Jackson needing to win 3 of the remaining 4. Maybe this could be one of the 3 he needs. After all, he looks like a player on the verge, with Ibra needing, perhaps will I say, utilizing his vast experience in comparison to his opponent, who nowadays has got a more lethal touch, given how consistent he's been performing in the recent past. He's been participating in comps alongside big boys, Asiku, and has been getting into latter stages. Just yesterday, less than 24 hours ago, he took 2 places into the quarterfinals of the comp that happened at Shua Lounge in Chirinya. One of the places went into the semi-finals and was some kind of most valuable player in the competition, although he did not win it anyway after losing out in the semi-finals to eventual. He lost out in the semi-finals to the eventual first runner-up, Habib Seboguzi. But there was cash for the top 8, so he took double prize, taking position number 4 and joint position number 5. In this one, he's going to be having joint position number 1 out of 2 or number 2 out of 2, as long as he pots black. His target could be to the corner pocket bottom right, I think off the yellow, maybe direct, goes direct, it looks in, it is not. Now that one can be very, very worrying for Jackson Asiku. Nowadays people around just call him Big Kells. Of course, after his management, and Ibrahim Kanja puts with power, this places the black, positions his yellows relatively well. Will I say relatively very well, besides one, the one that is closest to the cue ball. The others are very portable with some kind of ease. And here he goes. With now 4 yellows left on the table, amidst a very attentive crowd of about 200 people, the way they are following the proceedings here. That's the beauty with the pool, that the people who follow this sport have a lot of information. They understand exactly what these players are doing. In fact, majority of the fans, maybe all of the fans, are pool players themselves. Their own time of leisure. The real machine with yet another backspin to try and win a fifth has to be very wary of the position of the black. It is the only tricky of them 3 balls left on the table, but he'll trust in his abilities. After all, he does have them. It's really a shame that it's long since he last won an open comp of this magnitude. Maybe the last time I streamed him reaching latter stages was when he lost out in the final in a comp that was organized at Lucky's Pool Arena about 3 months ago. Since then, it has been early exit after early exit after early exit, and it's really getting late because he has too much quality. He can't be defeated left, right, and center like he is, at least in the recent 3-4 months. How good will the cue ball be? It's so close for his liking. It could even be touching the black. There has to be observation between the 2 players, maybe including the umpire, as to whether white and black are touching. If it is touching, then he simply has to play away. By the body language of Jackson, I think it is not. She shook his head like symbolizing no. And Ibra will be aiming to play safe, simply not to foul, play the black right against the cushion, play the cue ball right against the cushion, and tempt Asiku to try and produce a bank, which is very possible, by the way, to the center pocket on the left. But it is also risky in case he misses. He's not going for bank as if he's going for safety, not safe whatsoever. This one will not be a safe shot at all. He has used too much power. His intention was to play it right against the bottom cushion. He allowed it to bounce with non-calculated power and is losing the frame to the benefit of his opponent. It is now Ibrahim Kayanja 5, Jackson Asiku 3 in a race to 6 for a place in the round of last 16. And now if Ibra Kayanja wins this ongoing frame, dear viewers, that will be it for Jackson Asiku, at least for this life. And I love what I've seen of Ibrahim Kayanja in this match. If he wins, I wouldn't help but applaud this kind of performance. He has been very solid, very mature. He has been playing offensive full, but with caution. He has been avoiding unforced errors and has been playing well enough not to allow Jackson grow in confidence. And so far, especially for the fact that he has been coming from behind most of the match, he was down by 2 frames to 1, then down by 3 frames to 2. Since then, he has won 3 frames in a row. But must spot balls like that. If he's to win this match, this one should be a relatively good chance for Jackson to steal the frame away. Now, guys, how good were you at whatever you were doing at the age of 16? Such that we can compare to how good Jackson Asiku is at playing pool at that same age. And look at what this young man is doing here. He has just played with intent to have that yellow. He has just played into space. And now we'll be having every reason to believe that this frame has gone in his own favor. Cue ball has lacked some movement when he rolls the yellow to the center pocket. White is not natural, playing it off to cushions. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful for Jackson. It was a little too arrogant. Another player would have chosen simply to roll, then try out something of white ball distance from black, but Jackson is not another player. He trusts his skill. He has won the frame and has won it quite beautifully, punishing Ibra for that mistake in which he failed to connect red into red pot to the corner pocket bottom left. That is now history. It is Ibra 4 and Jackson Asiku 5 in a race to 6. Two frames to go, dear viewers, with the Ibra needing to win one and Jackson needing to win both for the victory. Benadozi, thank you for watching. And Ashvin, you think a decider is loading? You think it will be 5-5 after the next 1 to 3 minutes? Okay, let's see how that one goes. Mahomes Abias, you think Kayanja will make sure you don't want him to take it to a decider? And Roger, you are harsh to Ibra Kayanja. He lost. Those things happen in the game. Failing to put the easiest balls, those things happen. What's James, you think it's not, you say you can't play pool and study at the same time? Maybe on that one I may respectfully disagree with you a little bit, because you know, not just pool and studying. In life you can have two careers at the same time. We know musicians who are engineers and they're doing both. We know people who have 3 careers. We know doctors who are in politics. Someone is a medical doctor and an active one and is in parliament somewhere. We know those ones. So it is possible to be in school and play pool. the advantage with the kid, the disadvantage with the kid like Herbert, he likes pool so much that if you tell him to go to school and stop playing pool, he's likely to hate school because it made him lose his passion, you know. So you find a way of allowing him play pool, but ensure that pool doesn't make him miss school. So in a way of ensuring that we balance both career. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. This is the second time in the match that Ibra is spotting black prematurely. Maybe it is a sign of things to come. Maybe it will not be his day. Maybe serendipity. Maybe destiny. Ibra 5 and Jackson Asiku 5 and rest to 6. I think someone was right. That was Nashvin 256. You said that a decider was coming. Now we have a decider 5-5 between Ibra and Jackson, race to 6. Now this match that has been played for just over 50 minutes will be having its winner in the next 2, 3, 4 or 5, most likely less. But I want to call it a very entertaining one, also very exciting and very eye-catching match, full of skill, full of drama. It has gotten Ibrahim Kayanja playing a very solid game, but has been quite unlucky, twice potting black prematurely. On another day, I will be saying that maybe he should have won this one way long ago, and just now he cannot unless he wins this ongoing frame. Decider 5-5, race to 6 coming up live. Next is going to be Herbert Mokisa versus Gloria Senyo. That one should be the last stream that I'll be having on the day, and then return to the venue tomorrow for yet more and more and more action coming up after this on this same stream. What can Jackson do here? Seems like he's going for some kind of bank. Call it a defensive bank. He is playing with no intention to pot and achieves exactly what he intended. Here he is again. Now that was some kind of carelessness, because when you are playing not to pot, you are supposed to be cautious. You are supposed to be having the game reading of knowing that when I hit this ball, it hits into this. It most likely settles here. You don't want to gift such opportunities away. Jackson Asiku won't mind. Will be playing maybe to pot, maybe to position his balls even better. Maybe play defense, which is what he's doing. And as a matter of response, his opponent is playing a safety of his own. He pulled pot. No, he doesn't. Jackson will be having a cause to worry of those two yellows touching each other. One of them frozen near the cushion of the right where he's having his hands. And he's just played with intent to fully occupy the corner bottom left with his own yellow. as though Ibra is going for the bank. By connection, doesn't get it, but at least successfully displaces some, if not all, of Jackson's yellows, and Jackson will be playing again to maintain good positioning of his balls. He's gotten to snooker. His opponent almost set to snooker because the little space is only for Ibra to manipulate the cue ball in between the two yellows, not to find red with any kind of ease. He plays off the right cushion, finds one red. You get to think Jackson Asiku will be doing the same exact thing. He's the more patient player, he's the more calm, he's the more composed. Maybe he's the more serious, maybe he's the one who means more business, maybe he's the one that wants it most. Still 5-5 between the two. This ongoing frame is the 11th. It's a decider. And Asiku was that one spot of his where he knows where he's pressing the cue ball for the fourth time when he's stroking. But this time he doesn't snooker Ibra totally, because yes, he finds one red, could pot it. Instead, Ibra puts the wrong ball. At the end of the day, the times that Jackson has spent playing snooker after snooker after snooker have paid off, because he has gotten the free shot that should help him at least try and win the frame. He has played almost all of his yellows in space besides one. That one that is almost touching a red near the side pocket on the right. The others should be potted with ease. Even the one that is close to the red has gotten its own passage to the side pocket on the right. This one should be Jackson's route to what could be a clear victory in maybe the most tightly contested matches in the competition so far between two friends, with Jackson Asiku having grown in the palm of Ibrahim Kayanja. At least as a pool player, is getting a chance to torment his master on the pool table, needing to put now just two yellows and then the black. He's manipulating his little body size perfectly well, stretching his body to full, and now needs the pot of just one yellow to the corner pocket bottom left, black I think to the side pocket on the right. Just have a little bounce of the cue ball off the cushion in a normal pot, and he will be good and in business. Surely he will. He has taken his time to think out his options. Should go for the easiest. He's not going for any kind of ease. He has the confidence and the arrogance and the belief that, master, I am of age to take you down, and is vindicating himself of exactly that. He's potting black, he's winning the frame, and is knocking out the master. Ladies and gentlemen, the student has defeated the master after about 59 minutes of play. It has ended Ibrahim Kayanja 5 and Jackson Asiku 6. As Herbert visits the table, Glorious will be following him, and that match is coming live next.